workshops and seminars at our institute. Thank you so much, sir, for providing this opportunity to conduct this workshop. Now, I would like to briefly give the introduction of our today's esteemed speaker, Dr. Kiran Sood, who has been consistently working in the research domain. She has been presently working as a professor in Chittara University, Punjab. She has over 18 plus years of teaching experience in very reputed educational institution with strong academics background. She has published various research papers in reputed international journals. In addition to this, she has been publishing various books and is working as an editor with different books also. She has been consistently working in connecting with different researchers and young minds to connect with her and collaborate with her to work and write with the quality content. Now, I would like to request Director Sir to give a warm welcome to our respected speaker, Dr. Kiran Sood. Over to you, sir.
Thank you. Audible? Am I audible, madam?
Yes, sir.
Very vast credits. Foremost, I, Dr. Ravish Sagar, on behalf of Banarsidas Chandiwala Institute of Information Technology, welcome our speaker, Dr. Kiran Sood, all the participants and colleagues. Especially if you want to be in the field of teaching and research, one thing is very important. That is publication either in journals or in the form of books. Many of us may be interested in publishing, especially international books. Writing is an art. Apart from technical skill or knowledge on subject, you should also know how to transfer your knowledge through word sequencing in the book. You should know how to create base and to take reader along with your content to the end. Proper chaptering and topic sequencing is also equally important. However, to reach to actual needy reader, the name of the book, that is title of the book, plays a very important role. I am not an expert, but yes, today we have one expert with us, Dr. Kiran Sood, who has authored number of journals and books and love to help those who wanted to get their book published by international publisher. Thanks a lot, Dr. Kiran Sood, madam, for accepting our request and sparing time on our request. Really, it is our pleasure to have you with us. We all are here to hear and learn from Dr. Kiran Sood from her vast experience in this field. I am sure we all will be heavily benefited from this workshop. Now I request Dr. Anu to take control and continue with the workshop. Thanks a lot, all the participants, madam, all, and stay safe. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, Dr. Kiran, for accepting our invitation and be a speaker at this workshop. I warmly welcome you once again and all the academicians, research scholars who have joined us today. So over to you, Kiran ma'am now. Thank you so much.
So yes, a very good morning to all of you present here. That's a lovely morning. And yes, thanks Anu ma'am and thanks Ravish sir for such a lovely and nice introduction. I really felt honored. So that was really a pleasure to be here, and especially the topic which you have given me. I really wanted to say something, as it is already said by Ravish sir that I have a vast experience. I just want to say one thing over here. I have started these books not by chance, but yes, I started working on these edited books almost last year. So I would say I'm still
recording in
at
progress
the stage, because it's been, I think I have not completed 1.5 years, but yes, I have gained a lot of information during this span of 1.5 approximate years. I have done almost 9 books. I'm thankful to God. I always believe I'm a person like who believe in God so much. But yes, I did a lot of effort from my side. I have given so many nights to work on these international publishers. It's really a work of day and night. So thankfully, thanks to everyone, those who are contributing their writing stuff to my chapters and everybody. And yes, thanks to the Institute, Banarasi Das Chandiwala Institute, for inviting me for on such a talk, which is like where I'm going to share my insights on multidisciplinary edited books, as well as self-authored books with various publishers, various international publishers. So as sir has already said, we all teachers, educators, right, it is not only important to teach what other things that we pursue in our teaching career. Writing papers, that's very important part of our career. Journals, writing papers for good journals. So simultaneously, yes, we can publish books also, both edited books as well as self-authored books. So based on your requirements as well as your interest also, because writing is something which I would say it's skill. You need a lot of skill. It should come from within. So if you talk about basically book proposal, before that, I would like to just tell you that I will be discussing on what is a book proposal, what are the major, you can say, the elements of book proposals. I will definitely show all my book proposals with you. I have arranged all my book proposals. What are the table of contents I will gonna share with you. What is the role of flyer? That plays an important role because you need to capture the market. You need basically audience relevant to the theme of your book proposal. And there are many more things, do's and don'ts related to this book proposal. So I hope I will cover all my relevant topics in this 1.5 hours. So yes, before I pursue further, first of all, I just would like to say something on this. Basically, what is a book proposal, right? A book proposal is a document, but normally it's not just a document. Basically, it's a document where you are trying to convince a publisher, right? You are writing a book proposal on such a theme. Theme plays an important role, right? And based on the theme, you are going to convince a publisher. Basically, it's a kind of project, right? And looking at your project, a publisher should look at the economic viability of the project for their publishing house. So through that, through your economic viable book project, you need to basically persuade the reader to the publisher, because basically they are going to spend their money and lot of resources on your book. So that is why you need to develop the idea, like using all your act of writing. You need to basically clarify the thought, right? What is the purpose behind writing your book? You need to express the idea, basically. That plays an important role, so that you can get the acceptance of that very. And basically, you need to, I would say, understand the essence of your book title, which will be gonna your project. Because if you are not clarify the essence of the book title, you will be failed in while communicating the thought or the idea which you are having in your mind. So you have to be very, very clear cut about what proposal you are going to propose. And while working on the book proposal, you need to think the audience also. It is not just, I have seen many people who are working on the book proposals. Yes, it's a source of income also, but you should not look at always as a source of income, right? You should definitely look at the audience also, right? To whom you want to target based on your book proposal. So there are so many things which I will take you further. So I'm going to share my screen for that. 1 second. So I hope my screen is visible to everyone.
Yes, ma'am, it's visible.
Okay, thank you. So right? I will take you further step by steps, all the various important points. I will definitely share you in between the book proposal. So if you see that the book proposal, if you download any book proposals, you can download book proposals from the, like, there are links available. I will share the links also. So normally when you see the book proposal, normally it carries 6, 7 pages, right? When it is blank, it carries 6, 7 pages, maybe 9 pages also. The moment you fill the required information, normally been asked by the publishing house agent to you, that takes a length of somewhere around, I have mistakenly write 50 pages. It should not be 50 pages. Yes, you can say 15 to 20 pages. 50 is by mistake, right? So normally 15 to 20 pages, depending upon the concept. Yeah, 20 pages will be there only if you are going to add table of content in the book proposal. Right. I will share you basically what is table of content, how it is prepared at a later time. So if you will add table of content in the book proposal, then it takes length of further 20-25 pages. Or you normally keep it aside. You can take table of content as a separate document also, depending upon the requirement of the publishing house. So when you prepare a proposal, you need to include so many things, right? That starts with the overview of the book, right? That plays an important role, right? You need to mention about the author bio in a paragraph, for example, say 100 words, approximate 100 words bio. And yes, competitive titles you need to mention, because normally when you prepare a book proposals, the publisher expects from you not exactly the similar one, but yes, very similar to your existing or the competing, which are already there in the market. For example, I am going to propose a book for Wiley. So while competing books can be from Wiley or maybe from some other publishing house, based on that topic. And when you propose the competitive titles related to your book proposals, you have to mention the title, the year of that book publishing, and the price also, like in dollars or in euros. And one important point which I would like to mention over here, then when you are going to mention the competitive titles of the books, you should take care of the year. Those competitive titles, for example, I am going to propose a book into 2022. So while considering the competitive titles, my book should not go beyond 2020. Do not cover any book which published in 2018 is still okay, but yes, far years, please avoid that, because now everything gonna change very fastly. So things will become obsolete. So you have to include very fresh competitive book titles, so that yes, you can say that these are the existing books and yes, this is my proposal. And then you have to make a comparison, what the existing books are offering and what you are offering. What is the basic difference? Is there something like in your book proposal which is missing in the existing ones? So that you need to highlight. Potential marketing strategies. Yes, there is a point always which you will come across in the book proposal related to the market. That is a very, very important point. I got rejection for my books just because of this only. Because in the beginning, see, nobody told me except two friends of mine who really worked hard on me for getting acceptance of the book proposal. But at that time, I was not aware of this important point where you might get rejection for your book proposals. That is the marketing strategy. And because as I already told you, that related to book proposals, either it is edited or it is self-authored, because book proposal will be accepted there are based on so many criterias, but one of the important criteria is marketing, because they need market for your book proposal, who is going to be part of your beneficiaries in like your book proposal. So that will capture that market, which will, yes, because which will generate revenue for the publishing house. No doubt, we should not say this, but yes, definitely, because they are going to spend the financial resources or many things on that. So generating revenue, that plays an important role. It's not only generating revenue, a viable idea that is being demanded by, I think you would have seen nowadays so many books are coming in the market related to sustainability and etc etc. So yes, so marketing strategies oriented books, you have to mention basically here 4-5 points, looking at the title and the scenario and the future of the book, and a chapter outline, or there are so many publishers who normally accept who want a sample chapter before in hand. For example, when you are going to send a proposal to any publisher, they want a sample chapter so that they can get an idea about the book proposal, but that can be skipped. That depends from publisher to publisher, right? Okay. So, how to write a book proposal? Either it is edited or self-authored. Writing a proposal for book as well as edited, they are very similar to each other. Just minor differences are there. I would say, I think 10-15%. That is basically that difference normally reflects in table of content. Rest all the things are almost same. So basically, when you write a book proposal, your focus should be on communicating that proposal through your writing skills, because it is just a writing part which take that proposal convincing. Using that proposal, you need to basically convince your the main agent of the publishing house. So you have to communicate in a proper manner to the publisher. And yes, your proposal should be persuasive. It should be, right? If it, for example, this important element, if it is missing, you are not able to persuade the publishing house through your document. You are not able to, for example, convince the publisher, then you will definitely gonna a big no for your for your book proposal, right? Why they are expecting a good idea? Because as I already told you, they are going to spend resources, money, and so many things on your proposal. So enough commercial
Hello.
potential.
Hello.
Yes.
Hello. Madam, shall I ask one question to you, madam, if you permit to me, regarding this particular slides?
Yes. Why not?
Proposal. So, being as an author, we will put the proposal, or we are depends on the title, whatever the publisher will suggest it to us. Because nowadays, madam, we are getting the book chapter is required book chapter. You will submit your book chapter in this topic, like that. So what we do, madam, is there any way to choose the proposal? Or shall we depends on these kinds of advertisement?
No, sir. Listen, let me tell you one thing. First of all, you need to answer one question. Are you looking for edited book or self-authored? Accordingly, I will answer to your question. Because there is little bit difference.
Okay, madam. Madam, it's a self book.
Self-authored.
Self-authored.
Do you understand self-authored books, sir? Okay. Self-authored is a book where you are the author of the book. You are not going to collect the chapter from the market, right? For example, there are 2 authors or 3 authors, that depends. So, but in case of edited, you are going to edit the chapters which you are collecting from the market. So your question is related to self-authored book. So again, yes, for example, if you have something in your mind, for example, I do researches in the field of insurance, for example. Now I have one thing in my mind that I want to write a book on insurance, right? And I think you would have seen how insurance has, that came into the market, especially how insurance got popular. It was already there because it's one of the player of financial world, but just because of COVID-19, you have seen the health insurance has come up like anything, because earlier health insurance was not that much popular. It was only auto insurance or motor insurance. So for example, if you are planning to propose something on health insurance, just an example, then you need to propose a title. For example, if you would have seen, I have mentioned the word multidisciplinary, right? This is the need of the hour. I'm not saying if you are planning to send a proposal which is not including technology or something like that, they will definitely gonna big no. But yes, chances are there, because if you will look at the publishers, in each and every publisher, they are expecting from you that you include that flavor of convergence of technology. So if I would like to propose a proposal on this insurance, I would say big data and insurance, right? So you have to propose a proposal which is the need of the hour.
Zoom.
Yes, it is the need of the hour, and then accordingly you will start proposing your proposal by writing kind of scope of the book. When you propose a proposal, you need to mention the scope of the book, and yes, the selling features of the book. Maybe it will take two paragraphs or three paragraphs. So that is the beginning. When you propose a authored oriented book proposal, you need to write the title and then a paragraph focuses on scope of the book, and yes, you can say the selling features, and then you need to shoot that proposal to the publishing house, and they normally takes time, that depending upon the publisher to publisher, somebody takes 3 weeks, 1 week, etc., etc. So you have to be very, very particular here. Again, either it is edited book or it is self-author. The title should be very catchy. It should be very catchy. Yes, sir. I hope I
Okay,
answered
madam.
your
Okay,
question.
thank you so much, madam.
Yeah.
Thank you, Kiran, madam. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Thank you. So, as I already said, that publishers are like those kind of publishers. Your title should be very catchy, convincing, and so that that can be convert. You can generate profit out of that. So they do not want to take any kind of risk, right? I would like to share an experience here. As I told you, I normally do research in the field of insurance, so I am very close to that. I did my PhD in the insurance also. So I started my first two proposals that is in the topic of insurance. And few days back, I was again thinking of let's do one more proposal. So I approached some good publisher that I want to do a edited book proposal on this. I have just I have just sent them an email through the title. That's it. I have just floated the title of the book. Then reply came that you need to elaborate more about it. So I have added scope to the title. I have added the market basically primary or secondary market. I then again communicated with the publishing house. I again got a reply that things are need to be more clarified. You need to clear more certain things related to the markets. This is the recent experience. I am sharing it with you. I think not more than a week. So they replied back. Idea is good, everything is good, but yes, we want more information related to the market. From my experience, I added more relevant information related to the market, and then so that this process took 10 days just for approval of idea. I'm not saying approval of the proposal, just for getting approval of the idea. It took 10 days approximately. That depends from publisher to publisher. So then, yes, when I added more like efforts on this market, they said, okay, you can pursue with writing a complete book proposal. So now I will write. So yes, because why these things are happening, I think you would have seen in this COVID times, so many books are coming. People are writing edited books, not just edited books, self-authored books are like anything, right? So this would have turned an opportunity for education world. So there are so many books are coming frequently. And yes, one important point which I would like to mention over here, that you have to be very, very patient here, because there are so many books are coming to the market, so you have to wait at time getting responses from the publishers, right? So viability of the another important point that has to be taken into consideration, right? Viability of the project. And yes, since you are writing a book proposal, yes, writing a book proposal, it doesn't mean that you write anything. Writing basically it's an art. The way you write research papers, right? The way you write research papers, you should, while writing these book proposals, you should give the same level of input. And yes, it will be better if you have to check the similarity index of your book proposal also. That is also important, because they want a quality or a good proposal, right? So act of writing, that plays an important role. When you write a proposal, your idea behind, the essence behind writing that proposal, it is very, very clear what idea basically you have in your mind, and then what you are going to propose. Because I have faced this like this challenge. For example, this I was sharing my example with you, that insurance wala proposal. When I was communicating through emails, the party opposite to me, he has no idea about insurance. They are publishers. They are not expert in each and every field. So we are talking to a person who has no knowledge. They are zero into that. Maybe things are like that. So you have to write in that manner so that the idea get captured by them, and then they will give a big yes to that, so that you can pursue your proposal. So think about, yes, you need to think about the audience also, right? Because who will get benefit out of that proposal, the students or the industry practitioners? Now that depends. Your audience will change automatically. Your audience totally change as depending upon your title of the book proposal, right? When you write the book proposal, that you are unknown to, like, you don't know for whom you are going to write that. So that's one thing. While writing this proposal, your proposal should be very, very interesting, right? It should be catching, or yes, as I already said, that it should be economic viable, right? And convincing, whom you are going to convince, basically the publisher, right? Because they are going to spend so much of money. And yes, there is no harm if you seek help, not from everyone. Yes, those friends, or maybe who can guide you, or those who have already written books, or it's not like that. Okay, if you are taking help from those who have already edited books, then that will be better, because that will help you in giving more idea related to writing a book proposal. This happens, this is a common thing when you write a paper also. You need to discuss a bit with your friends and colleagues, so that you can give a more beautiful shape to your book proposal. So basically, when you see the book proposal, what basically it contains, it starts with the title. Obviously, there is a title. When you look at the book proposal, there is a title, or maybe if you need, there is a subtitle also, right? There is a subtitle also, and the working title of the project. And then you will see the next question normally comes, that related to your editors, the editorial board of that book proposal, where you will see 4 or 5 maybe. Now see the number of editors, the choices related to the number of editors, that depending upon publishers to publisher. There are so many publishers, they say we will not accept more than 3 editors. Or for example, if you're planning to add 4 editors, then you have to give him or her a justification by there is a requirement of 4th editor. As per your policy, it's just 3 editors, so you need to convince them. So giving a reason to the publishing house for convincing them, that has to be very solid or genuine reason. So that's why, so that's again an art or skill which you need. So you need to mention the email ID and the phone number. One thing I would like to mention over here, the email ID, please mention that. Yes, anybody? Okay. So you need to mention the email ID basically here, which you normally use, frequently use in your while communicating. That is more active. Okay. So yes, that is the another. See, each and every part of ingredient of book proposal is equally important. For example, synopsis is also important while writing a book proposal, right? I have written that 1 to 5 paragraphs normally. They always expect when you write a book proposal, right? When you write a book proposal, so like for example, the synopsis of the book proposal, it should cover minimum 3 paragraphs, depending upon 5 also. But yes, minimum 3 paragraphs have to be there. Now, what basically you are going to include in this synopsis? What basically you are going to include in the synopsis? So yes, so basically related to the synopsis of the book, you need to focus on the background. What is the background, right? For example, I was talking about risk management in insurance, right? So background here, I can mention that, see, after COVID-19, how that insurance industry is revolving. So background was, we were not into so much of risk management practices, but COVID has taught us a lesson that we should inculcate such kind of risk management practices. So yes, something like that you need to mention. And yes, sustainability concept is everywhere in the market. So something like that, you need to correlate the background with the present scenario and then taking it to the future. While writing all this story, you please cannot forget the market. That is very, very important. You cannot forget the market. And one important point, you cannot forget, because you have your table of content in your mind, right? So when you are writing this synopsis, you have your table of content. You need to focus on your table of content simultaneously. These things are very important to correlate. You cannot deviate from all these things. So you need to keep into mind all these things: background, present, and the future, and the table of content which you have prepared. And then you write this synopsis, minimum 3 or max to max 5 paragraphs. So yes, that is important if it is necessary. What is the project? This I have already explained. Basically, what includes in the synopsis, right? Chapter breakdown, yes, which I will definitely share you further. Chapter breakdown, now that depending from publisher to publisher, but yes, whenever you are going to propose a book proposal to the publishing agent, try to give 12 to 14 chapters. I have experienced where I was being shared by some publisher 16 chapters. So yes, something like that. Maybe depending upon the title of the proposal, there is plus and minus. But okay, on an average, you can say 13, 14 chapters. They really want you to propose in the form of table of content. And yes, it is not just chapter only. For example, if there are 14 chapters, you will see for every chapter, there are subtopics, right? That is very important, because when you will include the sub topics of each and every chapter, you are going to clarify. That will be very, very helpful in clarifying the idea. And yes, while making this TOC, which is chapter breakdown or table of content, again, it is an art. You cannot write like that. While making this, for example, first chapter, second chapter, the sequencing of chapter, that plays an important role. That is really, really important. For example, would like to start with introduction, and then accordingly, the chapters should be aligned in such a way that so that they can make a story. So while preparing table of content, you need to make a connection between the chapters or among the chapters of the entire table of content. So you have to prepare it in a storyline. Okay, this comes first, then this comes first, and this, and then you end up with the chapter with something like, for example, if I prepare a table of content, I normally can start with the, not me, everybody will start with the introduction, and then you will see the market over there, and then yes, evolution you will bring in the picture, and what are the changes, market challenges, are there any regulatory norms, something like that. You might include if sustainability is there, and then there might be a chapter related to case based. That is really, really important, because if you will see, go to the web, you will see there are so many books which are in the market. They really like a chapter which is targeting on case based approach. So something like that. So it's not just a proposal, table of content, because your synopsis, which I already discussed with you, synopsis is dependent on table of content. So yes, there is a book proposal, but above all, one thing, the sequencing of making a book proposal, the very first step to prepare a book proposal, that is to prepare the chapters, table of content. If your table of content is ready, it's ready to float, then looking at the table of content, you will prepare all those things. For example, synopsis, the market. I was talking to you, competitive books. That is also based on your table of content. So the first step in making the proposal, it's not making the proposal, it is the table of content. That is the, you can say, the backbone of edited book. Not for edited book, yes, for even self-authored book, the table of content, that is basically time consuming. Once you are done with this table of content, you will not take so much of time. So for making a good table of content, yes, you need to spend some time. You need to see here and there, the resources. You need to see the existing books also, right? For example, I'm planning to propose a book in 2022. Then you need to see, yes, some old books also. It's not like from the last 2 years. You need to focus on how this what like which books were there in the market in 2018, 2015 also, and then you will study the you can say the evolution of the books coming in the same field, and then accordingly you will go for. And you may also give a look to their table of content. That will help you in making table of content for your book, right? As I already said, that sample chapters are normally needed. That depends from publisher to publisher. Sometimes they ask, sometimes they don't ask. For example, if they're asking you to prepare a sample chapter, then sample chapter will be based on your entire table of content, right? It has to be good. If you are really gonna share the sample chapter, or that is compulsory, then it should be prepared based on the entire table of content. So that is the another selling point which help you to promote your book in the market. Yes, this is the point related to book details. Normally it is important. You cannot skip this point like other points, because that depend upon the title of the book. You may need figures. Who basically need figures. You will prepare these for figures and tables and for pages and for number of words, because the authors who will be chapters for your book, right? And looking the title of the book, you will gonna caught here. For example, for figures, I would say 40 to 50 figures, table almost 50 to 60. And if you will ask me the number of pages, so pages something around 350 to 400 words. Number of words, that again depend upon publisher to publisher. But yes, if you will ask me to quote a figure over here, so you can say 1,20,000 words. So yes, these things will change as according to publisher, but you will not see much difference here. So how long you might take to write the book? Yes, normally every book, each and every edited book takes a time period of the moment you signed your contract. Means the moment you got the approval, they will share the contract where you will sign. They will mention a date of contract over there. So from very particular date of contract, they normally give you a time period of 8 to 9 months for completing the book. It is not like your book will be published. No, they will give you a time period that you are gonna share the entire stuff with them. I request you to mute, please, whosoever the participant is. So that time, normally they give you to prepare all the stuffs, and then the publishing house spends time from their side on that book. So yes, I face, if you are the book editor of the book, one point I would like to highlight here. Since you are the editor of the book, you are in touch with so many people who are writing chapters for your book. So yes, I have getting many queries, ma'am, when the chapter will be out, when we will get our book published. So they are very, very impatient at times. So in that case, you have to be very, very polite with them. Normally, each and every edited book takes approx 1.5 years, because that's a lengthy process. It's not like that. It's not like one paper. Normally, you will see if there is a book that carries on an average 14 to 17 chapters, that depending upon the length of each and every chapter. So it is not just one paper or one chapter. We are working on so many chapters, but author, they don't know. They're concerned about their own chapters. So they will keep on, asking questions when it will be out. So in that case, you have to be very, very particular about while answering their queries. Okay. And yes, this is another important point when you, basically, I would write to editor over here, right? About the editor biography. There is a section, normally you will see in the book proposal, where they will ask you to write the editor biography. This is the another important point to be taken into consideration, because approval to a book project based on so many points. This is the another pillar, and where the publishing house will look at towards editor also. For example, I am a person in insurance who do researches in insurance, and I am publishing a book, something related to the field which has nothing to do with me. Then they will raise a question, how you are going to manage this book, because your experience says something and the book you are going to propose has nothing to do with it. So in that case, what you will do, for example, if there are 4 editors in your book, right? try to include out of 4 at least 2 persons based on that same field on which you are going to propose the book, so that you will able to convince, okay, if I am not the expert one, but I have something to, that I can connect with it. But yes, at least out of four editors, these are the 2 editors who have strong experience, who have a good record on that same very particular field. So that is very important qualification, which I quoted you. And yes, the important point related to the awards and recognition, yes, that plays an important role in getting the kind of approval. Previous publications, yes, that normally been taken into consideration based on your profile. And yes, media appearances, that plays an important role. They look at your lectures, speeches, also interviews, also in the same field. And yes, if you have any connections, or are you the member of any good, for example, IEEE, something like that. Basically, the focus is here to look at the exposure you have, the experience you have. And yes, many book publishers, they go ask for a photograph also. So that depends. So that is the another. And you need to write, not just, I have quoted in the points, but when you will write all these things, you have to be very crisp here, and you have to write in a paragraph, not more than 100 words. So you have to be very, very particular about it. Okay. Platform and audience, yes, that's very important. Like publishers really want the authors, that how you will reach to the audience, right? Who will be the market? Now, market normally divided into 2 parts, right? Market divided into 2 parts, the primary market or the secondary market. Primary market, where we normally always include students, researchers, undergrad, postgrad, PhD students. So yes, when I will share the proposal with you, you will see that it is clearly written by them. Please do not exaggerate the market. You have to, while writing market to the book proposal, you have to follow a realistic approach. The market, which is available there, which has to be very, very realistic. Similarly, if you will gonna add secondary market, so depending upon the title of the book, maybe industry practitioners or maybe some other analysts, etc., etc. So there is always a market, primary market as well as secondary market for every book proposal. What are the parties to both the market? Yes, that you have to be very, very particular about. And yes, the other things, many publishers, not all the publishers, many publishers, they look at your Facebook profile. They will ask you to share the link. I will share that one information with you, where they will ask you to share the URL address of the Twitter, or so that they can look at your profiles, basically, right? So that, and yes, number of people on your mailing, that's the another point, because that is very important. Because when you get the approval, final yes, then you should have a strong database of emails, the connection. Now that depends in what form that database you are having. So yes, in order to connect with the people at large, you should have a good network, friends, or maybe researchers, or maybe not in India, across the world. Because now the expectations of publishers are very, very high, because we are diving in the world which is highly competitive. There is competition in each and every sector, although it is a book where we are talking about edited book circle. You will see every day so many books are coming to the market. How you are gonna make your proposal unique, or out of which is like a star? So yes, you have to be like that, because you have not just to deal with the national Indian market. You have to deal with, yes, one important point related to the editor I skipped. Try to include foreigners that really give a weightage to your proposal. I have experienced this. I'm still experiencing that. They will, and like looking at your title also, not just, at least one editor should be from out of the country. That is very, very important, right? Pick your comparable titles. What is the market for the book? Yes, this is something related to that, which I was telling you already. Then, for example, when you prepare your book proposal, a section will come where you will highlight the competitive books or comparable titles related to the title which you have proposed. What is the reason behind? For example, the way we highlight research gap while writing a research paper, similarly, based on the same topic, you will find a research gap, basically the gap in the books. Okay, these are the books which are already available in the market from different publishers, belong like at this much of price, and that came in this. They will ask you to name editors also. They will ask you to name editors also. Some publishers they ask for, and then when you need to give the explanation of each book. Okay, this book was talking about this, but my book is focusing on this. Okay, second book is talking about this, but my book is talking. So this how you are going to set comparisons over here, and then overall you will identify one reason which will become the USP of your book, right? So selling venues outside of traditional bookstores, so that is sometime needed, right? They will ask you that where this book will be taken further. Is there any conferences or maybe something like that, maybe some shops? So the purpose behind asking this question to increase the marketability or the sale of the book, right? So again, they will look at the title and then they will ask you. So for example, is there any upcoming conference which you are planning to organize, or for example you have already seen based on the title which you have proposed, normally that take 8 to 9 months. So looking at the gap also, because if you are proposing now, the book will be come out with publishing and all that finishes after 10 11 months, and then you have seen that okay, after 11 months or 12 months I have seen that there's a conference coming, or chances are there, maybe you have contacts, so you know that there will be a conference on this tentative date which you can target, and then you can align both the things, your book and that conference, so that you can have more exposure to the book also, and yes, for the conference organizers also. So that is the another point that can be asked to answer. Yes, social media, as I already told you, that they will ask you to mention your Twitter account, etc., etc. That's important, right? Okay. Okay, this is, I'm going to skip here. Identify your target audience. That is very important. As I already mentioned, the primary market and the secondary market. This is very important. You have to be very, very crisp here. And while writing this primary and secondary market, you definitely look at the age. You need not to write the age. You will be writing, and the art of writing. Yes, that is another point I would like to share. When you will be writing for this primary market, you will not write like a story or in a sentence. No, it is a big no. They will reject you on this ground also. For example, primary market are students. Okay, I will write student, undergrad, postgrad, researchers, and that's it. No extraordinary, no line, nothing like that. Be particular about it, right? Same in the case for professionals also. Yes, this is the another very important point. Since all the points are relevant, because you have to give justice to each and every point of your book proposal, but this is something which they really want to look at. I got 2-3 rejections because of this point, because I told you, I didn't know that earlier, that marketing ideas are so much important for getting the acceptance of the book. They used to look at the marketability of the book. This is not an example. This is something I have copied from my book, for which I got the acceptance yesterday. So I got an acceptance from my book. So from that I have taken. You can see the title of the book. This title with CRC, I got acceptance yesterday. So this is the marketability. And yes, as I already told you, it's not just the title which you will look at while writing these points. You will also look into the table of content also, because title and table of content both are aligned with each other. When you look at a table of content, there are, for example, 16 points. So it's not like that all the 16 points are totally unique. Out of 16 points, you can group them, right? Out of 16 points, you can group them. For example, if there are 16 chapters, if you group them, they maybe come up in 5 groups or maybe 4 groups. So based on the groups, you are going to write the catchy marketing ideas. And there is a skill of writing. If you have seen that the way I have written the marketing points, focuses on, examines. So there is a skill, basically. You need to write the way. So this is very, very important while writing. And yes, one important point, this is normally they will ask you to write 4 to 5. 4 to 5 minimum. 5, I think that's the requirement. So 4 to 5, something like that. If you feel like there is something which you can add more, which is very, very relevant, then you can write also. But yes, 4 to 5 is the minimum requirement. Okay, the proposal is drafted. Now, what else? Yes. Now, there are two things. There are very two important things. You are drafting a proposal, keeping two things in mind. You don't know whom you are gonna target, the publisher. And the second thing is, you already have one thing in mind. This is the publisher. I have seen that the book series came into the market. They are accepting the proposals, book proposals. So you have both the things in mind. So better to write a proposal where you already know that there is a due date for where I can submit my book proposal, because it is just like a research paper. One side you are writing a research paper, you don't know where there is a special issue or there's an upcoming requirement, right? In that case, you need to wait, you need to search here and there. But one side, you know that there is a special issue, and then accordingly you are writing. So there are two different things. So that is your choice which you want to choose. I have experienced both, right? Keeping in mind publisher, and yes, when I had no idea where I want to write. So you can try both. So that depends. But yes, in the second one, when you don't know the publisher you are going to target, that will take a little bit more time, because you need to struggle, you need to search, okay, which publisher is I should target, etc., etc. Okay, now this I think will not be visible from the slides. I have copied from the Word file. I will share it with you. Why I have included this part, basically the flyers. Preparing flyers, that is very, very important. It's not like, because that's you are going to share the flyers in the social media. The people will look at your flyers, and then definitely they will contact you. So there are some, I'm not saying these are the perfect ones. Yes, because see, I believe in one thing. I am still at learning stage, and there is always a scope of improvement. As I already said that it is just 1.5 years. So whatever I have done, I have learned from my own mistakes, and I'm still learning. So when you prepare a flyer, I have learned from my own mistakes. One thing, yes, you need to prepare a flyer, just try to cover everything in one page, right? But yes, I have seen people sharing the flyers in PDF forms where there are 2 pages. That is okay. But if you will ask me, I'll go for prepare a flyer where you are able to mention everything on one page, as you have seen that what are the important points which normally authors look at. Now, when you prepare the flyer, you have to read the mind of the audience. Please don't think about your choices. I want my flyer should look like that, etc. No, your focus should be on the contributors or the authors who will gonna write the chapters for you. So normally the authors, they look at the title. That is important thing. They will look at the publisher also, right? And yes, they will look at the subtopics. That should be very, very clear, because on the subtopics they will choose the ideas and then they will write. Second thing, they will ask, okay, they will definitely look at the editors also, right? And then they will look at the dates, how much time is left in order to submit the full chapter, and then they can plan accordingly. And who is the person of contact through email ID or through mobile phone, etc., etc. So preparing a book flyer, normally it comes at a later stage when you got the acceptance of your book. But even for this, I got experience. This is the flyer which you are looking at. If you will see, when I will open the flyer in the Word copy also, that was blur. And you know what I faced for this? I got less chapters for this, because the flyer was not visible to the people. Then I had to prepare it again so that the visibility increases. So these are the challenges, because you have to prepare a flyer looking at the comfort of the authors also. And the dates also, you need not to mention so many dates. I think I have mentioned the date here. Abstract submission, please do not mention any date which I have mentioned related to notification of abstract. That increases your work. Or you know what will happen, for example, you got the abstracts, but you have no time to reply them to back. Then these authors will gonna ping you again and again, please tell me the acceptance, please tell me. And there is no acceptance at abstract stage. This is just a tentative acceptance. You cannot say anything related to acceptance. This is just tentative, looking at your abstract, which might get rejected also when we look at the entire chapter. And you are not the person. We know that we have the authority, we have the skill, yes, but above all, you are not the right person who can tell the authors of related to acceptance and rejection of the chapters, right? Don't take this risk. And please do not communicate anything related to the authors either through telephone or through mails or through WhatsApp messages. You have to be very, very diplomatic here, because you will definitely face problems where, for example, your friends, your colleagues are writing chapters for you. They will ask you out of the way, my chapter will get acceptance. So you have to be very, very diplomatic while answering to these questions there, right? So similarly, these are the books. All my books, as I told you, I started last year, and normally each and every book takes 1.5 years to come out on the market. So these all books are in production right now. Thankful to God I am, yes. But yes, these all my books which I am sharing it with you. This is related to IIT. Yes, something related to this. This book has taught me, like, although I think this was my fifth book, but this, whatever I have learned from this IET, I have not learned from the other books. You won't believe, maybe in my case, I took 3 months for getting the proposal of this book, right? When I was answering to the mails related to my book proposal for this IET book, I was feeling like, am I dealing with the research paper? This feeling I have got. So much of, queries I was getting from the publisher. They were very, very concerned about the table of the content, especially from this publisher. This publisher was reading a single word of the book proposal. How many editing I have done. She was focusing on the editor also, every single information, like as I told you, the bio. She was very particular about the bio. Yes, she was very particular about your PhD title also. Nobody asked the PhD title, but yes, they were asking me your PhD title, from which university, etc., etc. Do you have any membership? If you don't have, please don't write anything about membership and all that. So this, and yes, the number of editors, the background, right? Yes, one important thing which is very important, which I got experienced here also. Then the second, to mention the name of 3 to 5 reviewers. So that is a kind of flexibility being given by these publishing house reviewers related to the theme of your book project. If they have, for example, working on hospitality, name of the reviewers which I am mentioning, they're from accounting and finance. They will not reject it. They will ask you to share the affiliation email. Then they will check whether the reviewers are matching with the title, looking at their expertise, etc., etc. So 3 to 5 reviewers. And important point, while giving the names of the reviewers, try to bring reviewers across the world. That is very, very important. They definitely look at. I have faced this problem here, one from US, one from, so that was very difficult for me to arrange. Now this problem you do not face with each and every publisher. So that depends upon publishing requirements of publishing housing. So yes, this was the experience with this. And yes, this is the another, that is the reverse. So right. And Violet is my second book, and this has gone to production. soon I will get the book published here. So this was my another, right? Okay. And if you see that, if you look at all my books, the scope of the book, don't write so much about the scope of the book, because people get clarity when they will look at the title and when they will look at the table of content. So keep it less. The content related to scope of the book, please keep it less. That is not that much, because that will cover so much of space. Right. Logos plays an important role, as I told you, dates, editors, and the point of contact. Go for easy chair link. That is up to you. The comfort where you having more, maybe easy chair link, or maybe you can. Yes, one important point that came to my mind. For example, if you're not gonna deal with easy chair link, you are going to entertain all the queries and chapters and all that on some email ID. Please do not use your official email ID. There's a big no to for that. I will suggest you rest. I've seen people who are using their official email IDs, because see, I told you books takes almost 1.5 year time on an average to publish. You never know by the time you switch to the other organization, and you have so many data, so many books, so many emails coming to your email. Then how will you transfer everything? So please, and not just only personal email, I would suggest you, if that depends upon you also, go for a special email. With that email will be only catering to the books only. For example, if I have 8 books, I'm not saying I have 8 emails, but yes, I have 2-3 emails, and those emails I am using only and only for the books. There is no other communication which is going through from these emails, because it's not only collecting chapters. Sometimes you need to be a part of review also. So so many things you need to communicate. Yes, if it is easy chair, but still easy chair is further connected with some email. So that is the another point, right? This is my first book, which I told you, The Emerald. So that's again, as I told you, I am into insurance. So I really wanted books. So right now I have, if I'm not wrong, 3 books already in the field of insurance. Yes, one will be upcoming soon. Okay, this is the another book with Emerald in the field of insurance. I got these 2 books like with a gap of 15 days, right? So this is not visible that much. So I have basically 4 books with Emerald. This is my 3rd book, right? This is on something related to sustainable performance, smart convergence of technologies and the role of sustainable performance for a digitalized economy, right? Okay, this is the another 4th book of mine in this. Okay. Uh, Now, yes, something which I would like to tell you. I have many points to tell you, but looking at the point, I don't think so. But yes, do you know that even I didn't know that earlier, what this Voltage, Taylor, and Francis, and CRC, all the things coming together, because things were not the same few years back. So basically, because people have got confused with related to when they see the logos, all logos coming together on one book, but in some of the book only CRC written, in some of the book Taylor and Francis Routledge, everything is written. So basically, they have entered into a partnership, right? Right. So they have collaborated together, just like the way we collaborate in order to entertain the economies, or you can say to cut down the competition little bit. So they have collaborated together. As you can see that Taylor and Francis is one of the leading one of the leading research publishers, right, from London. So their key components basically that include Taylor and Francis, Voltage, CRC, and yes, F1000 Research. So these all are publishing houses, and this Taylor and Francis that founded in 1852, but yes, extended further 1798 by some magazine that was focusing on journals in the beginning, and then later they are founded in 1852, and then they became very successful publisher. So, and normally you will see that not just Taylor and Francis, that is important point to be taken into consideration. Which publisher you are keeping in mind? You will look at the publisher, what type of books they are catering to, right? For example, if you will look at Elsevier or Wiley, they will not entertain books of all types. For them there is a big no to most of the books coming in the field of social sciences. So you need to focus on the series also, not just the series. You need to focus on the book titles, on where they are coming up with edited books or self-authored books. So if you see the Roltage book, they have books in, I think, in each and every area. But yes, in social sciences, they have so many books. So this is how they entered, and then they collaborated, right? And then they are coming up with this. So this is something related to information which you will definitely find when you will Google them. You will find all this related to the same field. So this is something you have to approach to the people. Normally, they do not reply to your peer review mail. So again, giving reminders, requests, etc., etc. So this is something which is a lengthy process, and yes, it is very, and where compromise, you cannot compromise with the quality while going for this peer review. Yes, don't be so friendly with the authors, right? Because many cases you will see authors are the friends. So in that case, you cannot compromise the friendship and the authors. So under email at least for 10-15 days. Don't. Rest again, these are the things which vary from publisher to publisher. You can little bit, plus and minus. But if you give reminders to the agents, then they will feel annoyed or something like that. Again, that I'm not saying this happens always all the time, but yes, you have to be very particular here. And yes, I have written don't beg. This is something related to chapters. Please don't ask your friends, please send me chapters. Okay, if you are very informal with someone who's close to you, then you can ask, but not always beg for getting chapters, because that's a sign that you are not getting chapters for a book. So please don't do that. Or if you're doing it, okay, that depending upon the party opposite to you, then you can do that. Circulation in social media, already told you. Keep a separate email, already shared. Yes, Grammarly, that is very important. You should have a software where you can check the Grammarly, right? The English, basically, the proofreading, and a software where you can check the flag of your books. Okay, there are so many other points. I think I will quickly share the book proposals with you. That will be better, because this will be very lengthy. Let me share one or two proposals and the table of content. 1 second. I have to stop sharing and then. Yes, can you see some document where the yellow color is there on the top of the screen?
Yes, ma'am, we can see.
Okay. Thank you. Now, this is, as I told you, when you prepare the book proposal, the first thing that you should you should have a clarity of the idea, the title, basically. Maybe there is a subtitle, that depends. They entertain subtitles also. And later on, you can change the idea a little bit, because when you prepare just like, when we write a research paper, when finished writing research paper, we bring changes to the abstract, something like that can be done here. So when you prepare the title of the book, this was related to emerging technologies in insurance sector. So this is basically the table of content. I have deleted the author's details here because I cannot disclose the names. So I have deleted, right? So what basically now you can see, is it visible, or like the content, the information is visible, or let me increase the percentage. Wait a second. I think, yes, the chapter title and the subtopics are visible to everyone. Is it or not?
Yes, ma'am, it's visible. Perfect.
Okay. Now see, just I'll take a quick look. See how many chapters are there. Second chapter, third chapter, fourth chapter, sixth chapter, 7, 8, 9, and 10th chapter, 11th chapter, 12th chapter, and 13 and 14 chapter. Right? Okay. Now see. So this is what I have written. If you please look at tentative, because this is tentative. You cannot claim that this will be surely will gonna become our authors. So yes, now the art of writing authors and affiliation against every chapter. For example, I have shown you 14 chapters. So you will write 14 authors and their affiliations. I have written just my name. You may write anyone's name over there. So basically, while writing the author's information, you will write the name and the email and the affiliation, or maybe in some cases, they might ask you to go for LinkedIn address. So this is how table of content is prepared. Okay, now next thing is, as I told you, when you prepare table of content, you need to prepare in such a way so that you can frame a story, right? I have experienced this, especially in this book. Now see that the title was Emerging Technologies, right? The first chapter. Yes, when you prepare the table of content, your chapters should not be of repetitive in nature. Might be similarity, little bit similarity is possible, but what is the fun of taking same chapters again and again? So they will definitely look at this for this proposal, which is from River. I got the approval in 1 month. I took 1 month. I got 3 reviews for this book proposal. So the reviews related to the sequencing of the chapters. The first chapter you can see, it's the simple chapter because my book title is Emerging Technology. So I'm focusing on the first chapter in emerging technologies in insurance sector. Then I've highlighted few technologies, big data, etc., etc., transferring insurance sector through technologies, right? Blockchain. And then see, another important point, what I have written at the end, if you can see this, this yellow color, you have to explain this each and every chapter, the synopsis in 1 line, not more than, not even 2 line. Avoid using 2 lines here. So basically, you can say the crux of this 1 chapter, why you are writing this synopsis, because I told you the agent doesn't have any idea for your chapter, for your title. So you are making his job easier as much as you can do. So this is the another requirement. Okay. Now, then I started focusing on respectively, specifically technologies. I took predictive analytics here and then things related to predictive analytics. Because insurance is very, fastly transforming, especially after COVID-19, because of this lockdown and social distancing. So earlier the state was not the same, but now things have changed drastically in the field of insurance, right? So again, there's a synopsis which you will see here. And then technology adoption strategies also, you can recommend some kind of strategy if you have solid information, supporting document, not document, supporting information like you have in your mind, not to show them, right? This is the another, and then you can see the synopsis over there. Technology, cybersecurity, you would have seen health insurance, not health insurance, but yes, the whole insurance went online and people are sharing documents, how secure the documents are there when you communicate through online. So security, cybersecurity took place here, right? Again, concerns related. So there can be a full-fledged chapter on that. Health insurance, yes, I highlighted. See, the chapter, the book title was Emerging Technologies. But if you have any idea related to like insurance, these are the 2 major players, auto insurance or health insurance. So I have, and this was so much in the market now also just because of this COVID-19, right? Innovation and risk management, because we are talking about climate change practices. COVID or this global warming has increased the level of risk management. So you have to look at one thing which I would like to quote here. When you prepare a book proposal, you have to be very, very futuristic. Look at past, look at present, look at future. You have to think upon what will be happen after at least 5 years. So that, in some cases, they will ask you to write the validity of your book. This happens with me in Taylor and Francis. When I was filling the book proposal, there was a question. The book proposal which you are writing with us, can you mention in years the validity of the idea of the book proposal? So you cannot, you have to be very realistic here. You cannot boast 20 years. So looking at the idea, then you will see the scenario, how it is going. And then you can write, okay, 10 years, 15 years. So that is the another important point, right? Role of technology in improving social outreach, rural outreach. Penetration, here I'm talking about some secondary data, right? Penetration and density. Grievance handling. Okay. That's the another point. Regulations, because this, online exchange of information. So IT requirements are very much there. You need to regulate. And this is the sector where you need to regulate. All right. Corporate governance, technology, and all that. So this is one. Now I would like to share one book proposal. One second with you. Okay. Just give me a second. It seems from. Okay. Okay, I have this. Yes. Can you see a screen where I have written book series, new book proposal, Emerald? Is it visible?
Yes, ma'am, it's visible.
Okay. Okay. Now this is the book proposal. You will see you can download it. It's not like you cannot download. It's very easily available on the Google, on the internet. Every book proposal related to all the international, they have kept it open. They are not secret. I have seen people are asking for, ma'am, can you share the proposal? There is no problem of sharing, but yes, please try to find out. You just write down edited book proposal on this. I will share the links with you. That's not a problem. So this is an edited book proposal with Emerald. This is my first book proposal. And basically, this is a series. As you can see, the name of the series in finance, insurance, risk management. So my proposal was in insurance here. This was a team of, I deleted the rest of the names. So this is how the information related to the editor you need to mention here, right? Just like my information, you will mention all the other, right? And this is now, as I told you, you need to write the autobiography in one paragraph. But yes, there are some publishers who ask you to give a detail of your research publications also. So you have to do it. You can, if they're asking you to share, then yes. So this is, I have shared my information, right? The publishing. And one important point which I would like to mention over here, yes, which will help you in getting closer to the book. For example, if I'm talking about a proposal which is on insurance, do mention everything related to your research, either it is books or it is related to paper or anything in the same field. They will look at that, will help you in getting the acceptance. So that, and you can highlight those. I have not highlighted, you can highlight. Okay, they will look at, okay, this is something related to your the same theme on which you are going to propose. So this is the information for my other editors, right? Okay, I'm quickly skipping this. And then, yeah, as you can see, wait a second. Yes, this was the title, right, of my book. And then, and see, this is the scope, as I told you. Now, see, you can see the chapter 1 and 2 I have written. I have written this chapter 1, 2, 3. Now, what this basically, from where I got these numbers, for example, how many chapters are there? Let me show you. 7, 8, 9 chapters. Okay, I have included, I think, 9 chapters. Oh, okay, maybe 9 chapters I have included. So, what I am doing here, this is based on my table of content. Once you will finalize your table of content, you are explaining them. Now, I told you to write in one line. Now, that depends upon the publishing requirement, publisher's requirement. So the better you explain the synopsis based on the chapters, that will be helpful for you to, right? And then something related, the scope of, again, the whole paragraph. And if you see that, you have to highlight something like that. You have to mention like that. The books examines such lines. You have to mention, what this book all about. You can see the primary goal of the book, what your book is focusing on. You have to write some so that you can relate in between. You have to write a story like here, right? I am doing this. This was the past. This is the present. So what is the primary? So you have to build a connect in between. Right? I have mentioned something here about COVID-19. Yes, because it's something related to. And this is the other important point. See, unique features of your book. Marketing points are different. Unique features are different. So they're also important. Unique features. how that is different from the other books. So you have to be very, very strategic. You have to follow a very strategic approach here. Right. And this is the table of content. Now I have presented the table of content in the proposal. Right. If you see the length of the proposal of this book, it carries 13 pages. So that depends upon. So this is the table of content. As I told you, 9 chapters, and there were 9 synopses for each and every. And yes, can you see that? Keywords. They might ask you to please, just like an abstract, they will ask you to please mention the keywords. They will ask you 20 keywords. Maybe they'll ask you 50 keywords. Accordingly, you have to answer. Right. Table of content. Okay. As above. Unique selling points. I have as already. Yes. This section I was telling you. You know that? This section. See. Market and competition. What I have written. Academic, researchers, undergrad, post. You have to be very particular about here. You cannot write a story form here. And then since it was an insurance, so yes, there's a ample scope that you can include so many professionals here: practitioner, policymakers, insurance agents, brokers, underwriters. There are so many. It's not just one insurance; it's life insurance, non-life, and there are so many other parties. So yes, and yes, if you can add on some more information where you can, which help in publishing. See, these are some bodies or libraries where you can tell the publisher that where you can sell the books. So please mention if you have such information, right? Yes, this is the competitive title which I was discussing with you. Competitive titles. You need to mention the name of the book, author also, the price also, accordingly dollars in euros, and with some explanation also. Right. And then you will compare what was the book all about and what is your book. Compare. And then how it is different. And then this is something related to your book information. I told you they will ask you to either give a length in words or maybe in pages, the number of tables, figures, you need to mention them. And then later on, they will compare. When you will get the entire chapters, they will ask you if the limit is increasing, they will ask you to tell your authors to delete. So they are very, very rigid about the length. Either it is word, pages, or whatever. They are very particular about it. And then, yes, this is something related to the reviewers' names, right? Okay. Marketing and sales related information. More information I told you related to the conferences, upcoming conferences, not the past. That has nothing to do with your book. You will write future conferences, at least with the gap of 7-8 months, where you can take your books, right? Something like that you can highlight here, right? Okay. This is, okay, related to social media. I told you, do you regularly work on engage with the media on topic related to, okay, universities. You can mention if you have connects. Okay. Bulk purchases. You will mention if there is a library in your contact where there is a possibility that they will purchase your book. You can mention that library, right? So this is just a sample of one. Do we have more time? I don't think so. But okay, I think I tried to cover many points.
Yes. There are some queries posted in the chat window, ma'am, by Dr. Javed.
Okay, let me see.
So, if you shall I speak for you the queries?
Yes, ma'am, because there are so many.
Yeah. So, Dr. Javed, if you can unmute yourself and ask directly. Dr. Javed, can you listen me?
Yes, madam. Yes, madam.
Please ask your.
Hello, madam. It's audible. It's audible to you, madam.
Yes, yes. Dr. Javed, please continue with your query.
Hello.
Yes, I am listening.
Madam, I have a query that is. Yes, madam. Yes. Thank you, madam. Madam, the query is relevant with the paid publication as well as the unpaid publications.
Paid.
So many times, madam, we are receiving the n number of mail from the publisher sites or from the agent sites. They are approaching to us to publish book with us in XYZ amount.
Sir, paid. Are you talking about paid
Query
version?
number 1, madam.
No, I want to clarify.
Paid version.
Okay. This is the first question. Can I answer your first question?
Yes, madam, please.
Okay. So related to your query for paid edited books, let me tell you one thing. These international publishing houses, they never ask you to pay a single penny. Yes, I think the query related to you for paid, that is related to what I have already seen. There are so many WhatsApp groups, right? So what people are doing,
Yes, madam.
for example, I have written a proposal. Everything is ready with me. Now I want somebody to collaborate with me as an editor. For example, I have written a proposal. Now I am approaching you, sir. Would you like to be a part of editor? But I will, in return, I will ask you for some money, right? Because you have done nothing. So that is something which is
Okay.
unethical, but yes, people are doing it. They're asking for money. Oh, now, but the thing is, nobody is forcing you. But this publisher, they never ask you to pay money. But yes, one more thing. If you look at Indian publishers, one publisher I would like to tell, I forget the name of the publisher. They are taking money, but they are not taking something which is unacceptable. For example, I have done a book with Indian publisher, some Delhi-based publisher. I forget. I'm sorry, I cannot share the name. I was one of the editor of that book. We took 600 rupees for per chapter. What is the reason behind? Because that publisher, see, Indian publishers are like that. They have to bear the expenditure related to publishing. That's it. It is, for example, 700 rupees or 20 chapters. So if you multiply 700 rupees or 20 chapters, how much money you will get? 20,000, 14,000. How much you will spend on publishing? So how much revenue? So that is okay. 700. Even I have seen people taking 1,000 also. That depends upon like little bit publishing. So if they are taking the 700 Indian publishers, that is fine. There is no harm in giving this money to. But yes, you will pay only once you will get the acceptance of the chapters from them. But related to this Wiley, Taylor and Francis, Emerald, Springer, this Rivers, IEEE, etc., they are not gonna charge you. They are free. They are.
Okay, madam.
They will never.
Okay,
Second question.
madam. Actually, they are asking 15,000, 16,000, 18,000 like that.
Can you
So
tell
that's
me?
why I asked this question to
Can you
you.
tell me from where this
Yes, madam.
information is
It is
coming?
yes. One second, madam. I will search. I will send it to you.
Okay.
Inform to you, madam. It's a Delhi based. It's located in Delhi.
No, it is a
It's
WhatsApp
a
group or
publisher
an
is located in
no,
Delhi.
It's a WhatsApp group or
No,
an
no, no,
email.
no, madam. It's not a. It's not a. It's a. No, no. It's not a WhatsApp group. They direct call to me in my number. I don't know where they got my number. They direct approach to me. Hey, we are from this, and we are publishing a book. If you have any title, you will send it to me. The publication charge it's 15,000, 20,000 like that.
So that's the same case I told you. But the thing is, you have to be very cautious about here. Maybe they are genuine, but I have
Yes,
seen
yes,
people are doing it
yes,
in a
madam.
genuine way. Yes, that is true. But you never know who are
Yes,
the
yes, madam.
persons behind. So
And madam, next question is that is relevant with the ISBN number.
okay.
So
Yes.
ISBN number, it's a two types of ISBN number, madam. One is I think
ISSN number
it's a
and
running by the one Indian government authority.
yeah.
It's a running by the in one Indian government authority. It's a I'm not proper remembering the name. So how we will validate, madam, and what will be the time periods in that much of year your ISBN number is valid? 16 number ISBN and 14 number ISBN, madam.
13 and 8, sir. ISBN 13 digit or
13,
ISSN number is
13 and
8 digit,
8.
8 digit number. So,
Yes, madam. Yes,
yeah, based on
yes,
again
madam.
my experiences, the books which I am doing. For example, let's take the example of CRC when I got the proposal, because you need to give the approval for example, the way we apply for the book proposal. Similarly, the book publishers will also apply for your proposal. How can they come up with ISBN number or ISSN number for which the proposal has not accepted, right? So in many cases, When you
Yes,
see
madam.
the contract of the book proposal, you will see ISBN. First of all, I would like to tell you one thing. There is a difference between ISBN number and ISSN number. As you told, ISBN number is 13-digit number and ISSN number is 8-digit number, right? And one more difference basically between
Yes,
ISBN
madam.
and ISSN number. ISBN number basically focuses on editing, most of the time editing, and ISSN number, they mostly caters to a series of books. That's the basic difference. Now the next point, coming to when you will get these numbers. In many cases you will get a number already when you see the contract, or in many cases you will see the number is coming when your book is almost reached to the production or the production has completed, because there is a process that is a lengthy process. And in order to look at the authenticity, viability of the project, they cannot apply for in advance. Or maybe if there is a series which is already going in the market, so they might have taken series oriented number already, because belonging to that series there are already so many books which got published. So depending upon the cases, like case to case, you will see in some cases already books are there where ISBN number is already there. Normally in case of Indian publishers, you see, I have seen many cases. If you have good contacts with the publisher, you got ISBN number before you are going to share with the public, or there are few cases where you will get ISBN number in between the process of collecting the chapters. So there is a lot of flexibility. There is no hard and fast rule. Like every time I have all my books like Emerald and all that, out of 8 9 books I have seen ISBN number was missing in most of the books. When I got the contract, they came a little, they will came.
Madam, it's in India. Yes, madam. In India, the Raja Ram Mohan Rai, Raja Ram Mohan Roy. These are the government authority. They are providing that ISBN number, madam.
Yes.
So, is it possible the single author can access or purchase this ISBN number for sole single? That means self publications of book
Self publication of books, so that is like
without without the take of any help from the other publishers.
you
Is it
like,
possible, or it will
no,
be
no, like
acceptable by
that
others?
right lies with the publisher only. You are the author, right? Getting the ISBN, for
Yes, madam.
example, listen one thing. You are saying I will be writing for a book, right? If you are writing for a book on some
Yes,
title, then
madam.
there might be some publisher associated with the book. So the right of getting an ISBN number, that goes to publisher only. You will become the author only. You cannot take that number.
Okay. Okay, madam.
There might be
Because madam,
cases.
these Raja,
Yes, yes.
this government authority body, they are selling the ISBN number also, madam.
Yes, yes.
You may pay 5,000, 6,000. You will got the 18 ISBN number and 10 ISBN number,
So
and
that
you
can
just
be
go through
used.
the
Yes.
local printing press and you will publish your book along with the ISBN number, and it is available in websites also.
So that can be used for commercial purpose. Yes, they are selling it, but you need to check the source from where it is you are getting that information.
But madam, it's a government body, madam. It is not a private body. It is a
Yes,
government
sir.
body.
Yes, yes. This is what I'm saying. You can use those ISBN numbers for some good titles. Definitely, they cannot sell these ISBN numbers. Just they will definitely charge. So this is how the business going.
No, they will charge 20,000 rupees
They will
10 ISBN number. They will charge like that. That means within a 20,000 rupees we are published 10 books with a single and unique ISBN number. So what is the need of publisher, madam? Why we are go to door of publishers if there is the facility to direct
But
publish your book?
yes. Let me tell me one thing. If you will add a name of publisher to you, that will give weightage to you. Nobody will. Adding a name of publisher to your book automatically give you more royalty. So yes, it is better to add a name of publisher, because people will okay. For example, for the first time you are writing a book, nobody knows you, but the people, they want this publisher. So that name of the publisher will automatically catches the that catches attention by the public. So that's the important role. That's why I see why we are using these publishers. They are already world famous or maybe the Indian famous. So that's the point here. You people talk about Emerald or Elsevier. We are after these publishers. Why? They are established, branded, national or international publishers.
but
Pearson.
but madam, probability of acceptations of the chapter and the proposal and title for the new author, it is very less.
So
It
we
is
have,
very less,
yeah,
madam.
depending upon the publishers. So that is what I am saying. It's all about writing and art. So obviously we have to raise the standards because the competition is there.
Madam, one yes, madam. One more question for writing and art, improving that script writing, madam. Is there softwares are available?
Uh,
Softwares are available to improving the writing skills.
so that I will, yes, I would like to answer. I think I will provide you then some softwares and all that because, but writing is something, yes, where you can improve it, but it should come from within. This I would like to answer to your question, right? You can learn with the passage of time, but how can you always depend on the software? For example, you can use Grammarly or such kind of software where you can see the mistakes, but you know that how much we can learn from the softwares. The more you will write, I think that's the best way to learn writing skills rather depending upon softwares, right, sir?
Okay, madam. Okay, Dr. Kiran, madam. Thank you so much, madam. Thank you so much. Very nice session, madam, and very informative session. Thank you so much, madam.
So thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for such an informative and insightful session. We are really grateful for you to have a speaker at our workshop. The time and efforts you took to share your thoughts and experience with such a clarity has been such a motivational and inspirational to us. You have been patiently handling the queries also throughout the session. I believe all will be beneficial with the tips and tricks you have suggested for how to write a book proposal, what a book proposal should contain, how we can identify the target audience, how to write the comparable titles, in fact, how to build the flyers also. So this was really an informative, but yes, time was little less. We would like to associate with you in future for a long duration so that we can have more benefits. The really inspiring was that your journey, how you began and how you learned from your mistakes and now you are at this level. This was very inspiring to all of us. Definitely, it will be beneficial for all of us. What you have suggested to us, we will always keep these points into consideration. Your enthusiasm has really motivated us and inspired us to work out more and collaborate with you. Thank you so much, ma'am. I thank you.
With your permission, can I share my contact number and email ID here? If in case you want to contact me, I am leaving my mobile number and the email.
Sure, ma'am.
I'm leaving my contact and email ID so that if in future you want to contact me.
Sure, ma'am. It was really an informative session.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
and
you for the opportunity. I would say thanks to you for giving me such a platform. And these days, online platform is very easy platform that we can connect with the people. So thanks for this.
really, Kiran ma'am, very nicely explained. And it is expected that we would be getting some good books in future.
Definitely.
Yes,
Exactly.
definitely. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. It was an honor to have you with us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now I request all the participants to fill the feedback form and fill your details carefully as to be printed on the e-certificates. Once again, I thank you all the participants for joining with us for such an enlightening session.